Living on Loving a Dime is a 4-year-old by Devil's Bag who's won 3 of 4 starts here, including 2 for 2 last summer. Schoolin' You by You and I, and also a 4-year-old, conquered Raise the Bluff twice as a juvenile and is back after missing his 3-year-old season. The two Jim Penny trainees worked 5/8 of a mile together, and assistant trainer Kay Cooper assessed their progress.
They're both competitive, and I enjoy working them together. It helps them both train a little bit more aggressively. They can get a little bit lazy, but together they don't let each other get that nose in front. So we have to watch, but they worked good 5/8, nice and strong.
The pair were timed in 1 minute and 4/5 for the workout. If you're an older horse with stakes expectations, you've got to go through the champ, Flame-Throwin' Texan. Tex, the track's all-time leading money earner and defending Long Acres Mile champion, sped a quick 3/8 of a mile in 35 1/5 under Galen Mitchell. Tim McCanna has been a force, to say the least, among Emerald Downs trainers during the track's first 10 years. He's won the most all-time races here, including 6 training titles. He shared with us many of his secrets of success, starting with the differences in training older horses versus first-time runners.
Well, with an older horse, you approach it as just getting them ready to run. Your fitness, they know everything about the starting gate, you know, the routine at the racetrack, and basically, I'm just trying to get their fitness up to where at a level where they're ready to run without, you know, hurting anything. A younger horse, you got to train a little harder because you have to be at the track every day and learn the routine of going to the racetrack, the hot walker, getting a bath. Just something as small as having the hose turned on his legs, you know, might be a real big thing.
With young horses, attention to detail must be paid.
And the main thing, you're just wanting to make sure the horse does everything right and makes no mistakes that are going to come back and haunt you later. You got to get especially young horses, you want them to have good habits and just something so subtle as like at the end of a gallop, turning toward the rail. If you ever turn to the right when you stop and come back, you just taught that horse to bolt or to get out. It's something so small as that.
Tim has a farm in Yakima and a full stable at Emerald Downs, so he certainly doesn't do it alone.
You're only as good as your help, you know. If they're not giving you any kind of input as to how the horse is going or if something's different, then, you know, you're in trouble, I think. And I'm out of town a lot back and forth, so I really have to rely on my help.
1 furlong is 1/8 of a mile. The Emerald Downs Oval is 1 mile around, or 8 furlongs. A couple of the main points of reference in training and racing are the 6 furlong or 3/4 pole, where many sprint races begin, the half-mile pole in the middle of the backstretch, the 3/8 pole, where many jockeys are instructed to begin to make their move in a race, the quarter pole, the red and white pole 1/4 mile from the finish line. Poles are situated every 1/16 of a mile around the track.
I like to work them as far as they're going to run because it's tough to expect a horse to run that far if he's never worked that far. I'll usually maybe start out an easy quarter or something, and then I'll go progress to 3/8. I'll go 2 3/8, a slow one to begin with, a little faster the second one. I'll go to a half, slow half, and then a little faster one. At that point, if I think I'm pushing them, I may go 3 half miles before I go on to a couple 5/8. And then generally, if I'm going to run a horse 6 furlongs, I'll work him 6. And a lot of times I like to work the horse 6 furlongs and then maybe run him 5 1/2, and then you know you're pretty fit. As we're building speed, I try to take them all in company, the young horses, and just the head and head day after day. You know, I mean, if they're a runner or a gamer, I mean, it naturally starts, the cream comes to the top.
Is there a typical set of circumstances leading up to a race?
If I had a pattern for me, for like before a horse runs, I like to work a horse a half mile 4 days out. That's my favorite move. 4 days out, I'll work them a half mile. 6 days before that, I would have had another work. I like to work them every 6 days and kind of get them in that pattern. But I like a sharp half mile, like 4 days before the race. I'll walk him 2, gallop him the day before, and school him the days in.
With over 80 horses at the start of the season, McCanna converses often with his many owners. It's certainly part of the game, but the phone time does add up.
During the season, it's 4,000 minutes a month. It's, you know, just guys calling, checking their horses. And, you know, I got some guys I'll talk to 3-4 times a day. You know, how's he doing now? You know, but same he was an hour ago. But, you know, it's kind of fun to, you know, everybody's got high hopes. And the main thing, you know, hopefully when you're talking on the phone, it's good news. There's no fun that phone call you got to make, you know, when maybe, you know, things aren't going so well. So.
Horses are individuals, and every once in a while, McCanna steps out of the box to get a better result. The case of Gin's Majesty in 2006.
She would train well, outwork Queen will do every time I ever worked him, and then come the following week, she'd get outrun. And I just kind of took her to the farm and forgot about her, and I ran her back in 8 days, never had a saddle on her, and brought her in, and boom, she wins. Took her back to the farm for 2 weeks, never put a saddle on her again. Hauled her in, day before the race, boom, run again. Did the same thing, left her to the farm, hauled her to Canada, and she wins a grade 3. Won 3 races, and the only 3 times she had the saddle on, you know, in 5 or 6 weeks. She was just a filly that was leaving it all on the racetrack training, you know. If I let her build up and get strong, you know, maybe she didn't quite have the fitness, but she was physically a lot stronger by not training in between. You know, it only took me 2 years to figure it out, so that was the problem there. And, you know, she made $200,000 along the way.
Training thoroughbreds is a 7-day-a-week job. We just cut into some owners' phone time, but did gain some keen insight from Emerald Downs' top all-time trainer, thanks to Tim McCanna. More activity from April 3rd at Emerald Downs and plenty of serious training going on. Howard Belvoir had 2 maidens out for work, with Charming Seattle leading the way over Dangerous Ground, who's a 4-year-old non-starter. Here's Chestnut Lady, stakes winner at 2 and 3, working 5/8 of a mile under jockey Kate Rep. The now 4-year-old filly worked a best of the day, 59 seconds flat. And here's Lunar Consolation, a 4-year-old non-starter by Iron Cat, trained by Frank Lucarelli. He also had a best of the day equaling 59-second flat workout in 5/8 of a mile. Opening day at Emerald Downs for the 2007 season is Friday, April 20th.